Hello, you fabulous Fujoshi and fantastic Fudanshi, and welcome back to our weekly Heroines Run the Show discussion video. And as you can see, things are a little bit different, but don't worry, it's all good. I still have with me, of course, the Startacular Stella Luna.
Hello! It's me.
Look how different it looks. It
Woo!
looks neat. There's more going on screen. It's not quite so blasé as it once was. I feel like this is a bit more of a step up.
Yeah.
Plus, if I want to show something from the episode, I can, like right here. I don't know what I'm showing, but that's something. Look at that. That's a thing.
That is a thing.
Look at that screenshot, because I can only show screenshots because I still don't want to show video because I'm still scared of Japan. But that's the thing. Isn't that neat? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Japan is very strict on copyright, so you have to be very careful.
It's true. Yeah, you do. You do have to be very careful.
Anyway, want to talk about the episode?
Yeah.
Heck yeah! Let's go.
Fantastic, fun episode.
It was very fun. I'm energized from it. I'm feeling the energy, like a spirit
sleepy.
ball. You're still sleepy. Stella's still sleepy. That's okay. I'll carry.
I'm still sleepy.
I'm gonna pick up the whole team on my back, and I'm gonna carry it like a relay. Except you don't. That's not how you do a relay. But you know what I mean. I'm gonna put the whole team on my back, and we're gonna go. We're
gonna
energy up.
Relay information.
Up.
We're going.
Energy up. So this is a relay race this week. Well, specifically, it's I feel like it's funny, right? Because I always see school festivals, right? Because this is like the sports festival type episode, right? You know, we usually get like a sports festival episode in most shows these days.
Yeah.
Now it's funny because I feel like most shows make the sports festival look huge, right? Like it's such this huge event. Oh my gosh, so big, right? It might as well be like an entire the whole town might as well be there, right? There's so many people, right? This was like, it's the school. It's just kind of the school, right? And I'm like, yeah, right? Like there's like the upperclassmen, the middleclassmen, and the freshmen, right? It's just kind of like, yeah, it's just the three grades. I was like, that's how it would actually look, you know? Like that's about how it would actually look. Just kind of like not quite as big as you might think, you know. But I liked it. It was nice and like, I don't know. It just felt like a more grounded sports festival type episode. I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a really fun episode. You know, it starts out with them talking about it. You know, like Hiyori's in the class and is like, all right, who wants to do the relay? And everyone's like, don't look at me, nah. And then not quite Mighty Sensei comes in. He's like, well, I'm gonna decide for you. And then he picks Aizo and Yujiro and.
Of course, everyone's just like, what?
And everyone's like, man, I wish I could have signed up because, like, obviously they want to race, you know, be part of that race with them.
Yeah, because everybody loves them except for the upperclassmen, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, you know, and they're like, what, man? Why us? Why? You know, Mighty's like, he's like, the teacher's like, losers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, too bad, assholes.
Yeah. Too bad, sucks for you. Right?
Yeah, somebody should have stepped up.
Yeah, if people would have stepped up, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it you know, so now they have to compete in this relay race, you know, with everybody else.
Even though they super don't wanna.
Yeah, they super don't wanna. You know, and even like when they, you know, they go and to the studio
for the radio show.
The radio show, and they talk about it, and like they're like, oh, it'll be fun, it'll be great, yeah, and like Milliconley Kitten or Neko or Cat or whatever her name was, you know, like talked about her school festival and, you know, sports festival, and they're like, it's okay, like, you know, we have it coming up too, and, you know, like they give them like good advice and some good encouragement, but they really don't mean what they're saying.
No, they're just like, they're just being very like encouraging good idols, you know. But then when it's like, are you guys actually excited? They're like, no. Right? Like, you guys ready for the sports festival? No.
Like, no.
And I love the like, not. But you got like, and I like when Hiyori's just like, but you said that you were excited. And then Aizo's like, I don't recall saying that, actually. Right? He's just like, no, I don't think I said that. Right? Just being a shit, like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. They have been on prime, like, little shit mode the last few weeks. Where it's like, they are now friendly with Hiyori, but they still have to keep up that, like, we don't like you, right? Like, we don't know you, right? They still have to keep that up, so they're still being little shits, even though now it's more playful than it used to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, it sounds boring. Right? They're just being, like, shitheads. And I like that the, not the actual manager, because I think the girl with the glasses is the main manager, but I think she's, like, the studio head?
The producer?
The producer?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what she is, but, like, she's, like, the head of the team, right?
Yeah.
She tells them, like, guys, you really only get to be young, like, one time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it's true. It's like, dudes, if my school had a sports festival, I'd be hyped.
I think the closest thing I had to a sports festival when I was a kid was when I was in elementary school and we have field day, which was like always like one day of the year where we would do like races with the class, like our different classes and stuff. So it was essentially the same thing. Not hyped up in the same way, right? Because we were in elementary.
Yeah.
Because like I remember there was a relay, like a race that we did, and we had to get onto like a tricycle and like go like as fast as we can, like it was a race, right?
Yeah.
And now I was, I think, 3rd grade, so I would have been like 9. Yeah, like 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very tall at 9. I did not fit in a trike. Like it was a bad time. But you know, we'd have stuff like that, or like, you know, also it include like water balloon fights and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
we
had that as a kid, right? Like as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like in elementary, but high school we didn't do that.
The closest I had in high school was we just called it like our festival day. Like it was just festival day. And essentially the teachers, it was so we would have festival day towards the end of the school year. So just before summer, right? In like the last month, I think we would, just before exams, it was like the week before exams, we would have festival day where the teachers all got together and they would build these like little stalls, right? So it would be like kind of carnival games, right? And then at the end, there would be like whoever wanted to go, it was all the teachers versus all the students in a big water balloon fight. It was really fun. They did that every year. And then when I went to college, they had, I think it was like initiation day or not initiation day, but like, I forget what you call it, like your first day, right?
Yeah.
And they had like a slip and slide obstacle course that they did. But I only did it like the first year. But yeah, it's like stuff like that is fun, but like we never had like an actual like relay race where it's like this class versus this class, right? Like we never really had that, which I think would be fun, like a little bit of competition. Because like festival for us was just kind of like carnival games and a lot of food, right? Just kind of like a regular festival, right? Just kind of like hanging out. Like there's no real like competition besides like teachers versus students. But, like it's kind of whatever. This is more fun. Like what they do in this episode is a lot more fun. Like I think that would have been a lot more cool.
Yeah. Well, you know, and you know, like the boys, you know, still kind of don't want to do it, but then we're faced with some challenges for the boys, right? Of why they want to compete and why they're going to win.
Suddenly they need to compete. Yeah.
Yep. Which
I'm not gonna lie, I thought the
Yujiro
was that?
I said I expected that to happen at some point. I was like, there's something that's going to make them want to win.
Yeah, exactly. Something's gonna happen that makes them like, it gives them the push they need. Well, because Yujiro sets up in the radio show that he's not very athletic, which I'm like, you're an idol, right? Like, idol is pretty heavy work, right? Like it takes a lot of effort and skill to be an idol. I'm like, you're already pretty athletic if you're able to dance like that. Right? But he says that he's not like quite built for like running and long distance stuff, right? Which I do believe they actually did set up before, that Aizo's the better at endurance. Like Yujiro kind of gets winded kind of easy. I do remember them setting that up. But so like we actually see like the payoff here where like the third years who are being like really big jerks, the third years basically say like, oh, like you guys blah blah blah, like you're just like, you idols are just stealing the spotlight, blah blah blah, like basically getting jealous, about Aizo and Yujiro like taking the spotlight away from the third years, because in competitions like this, right, like during like a field day, in fact, the students in their class even say like there's no point in doing the relay because the third years are just going to crush us, right? Like there's no point. But Yujiro's just like, okay, no, you're gonna try to pick on me, all right, bet. Right, like, because he's like, all right, yeah, now I'm gonna crush you. You think that I'm gonna lose just because
they're
I'm
jealous
not
that all these girls are
paying attention to
over them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I'm
so he gets pissed. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I was cheering him on. I was like, hell yeah. Well, we both were like Hiyori, go kick their ass. Right?
Yeah, like come on.
Yeah, Hiyori, go kick their ass.
Go kick their ass. And then with Aizo, it was his brother.
Who I forgot existed. When I saw him, I was just like, oh, this dude.
I remembered.
Yeah, I was excited when I saw him because I was like, I like this guy. I forgot about this dude.
Yeah, but it's so funny because Aizo doesn't like him because he's a quote unquote tail chaser,
which is apparently also not true anymore.
Which is not true anymore, clearly, because there's a girl who's. I liked how this episode also set up the couples that we've basically seen.
Yeah. So,
right?
Yeah.
It sets up couples without having to go into detail about things.
Yeah, it sets up there's a few that were set up from, I believe, the movie, that came before this. Was it a movie or a show?
It was a movie.
It was a movie. Yeah.
So there's a movie. Well, it doesn't set it up because this is it kind of but kind of not it's it's a little.
Yeah, the movie set up characters, right?
Yeah, I mean it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, so. Yeah,
the movie had the characters appeared in the movie, so if you saw the movie, you're like, oh, that's what I like about these shows, right? Is it Honeyworks?
Yeah, Honeyworks.
The fact that Honeyworks is you don't necessarily have to have seen these things, right, to get this thing, because it's focused on these characters, but the characters from those shows do appear in these other projects, right? Which is
they do
really
appear,
cool.
And they are characters in other projects too, but
they're full characters.
Yeah, but you don't need to know everything about them to
enjoy.
You don't have
to have seen that movie to like Heroines Run the Show, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
And we also got to meet Judy's boyfriend too.
Yeah, Ko, I think, right?
Ko, yeah. Which I was like, oh.
I was so excited because I recognized his voice right away. Right, I was like, who is that voice, right? So, as we're watching the episode, I'm looking it up on my phone, because I'm like, who is that voice? I know that voice. And it's Matsuoka, a.k.a. Inosuke/Kirito. So I was like, oh shit, of course, right? Matsuoka's a great seiyuu, right? So when I heard him, I'm like, oh, dude, awesome, right? It's cool that he's in this. I hope he sings at some point. Because we do get some of the characters actually singing a lip song. We get two of the Team Honeyworks characters singing a lip song, which was kind of fun. The second years. Are they second years? Yes, they're second years. Okay, yeah, because I was like, are they second years? I can't remember if they're second or third. Because the pink-haired girl had a crush on a third year, when she was a first year, right? That's what happened. Yeah, okay, yeah, because I was like, I kind of forget how it all works. But yeah, it was just a fun episode, because it was an episode that I felt was, even though I am not this, it did feel it was very much an episode that was for Honeyworks fans. It's hey, if you remember this movie, this is an episode kind of for you. Yeah, right? Because it features those characters pretty heavily, but it's not it doesn't require you to have seen it. I still felt I got a lot out of the episode, even though I don't know those characters very well, because I was like, oh, I didn't know that Aizo's brother had a crush on this girl, and that he's not really what did he call her? What did he call his brother? Not a clout chaser.
Tail chaser. Yeah, which is technically would be a skirt chaser.
I was gonna say a skirt chaser in the West, right?
Yeah.
So it's he's not he's not a playboy anymore, which I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I totally thought he was a playboy, right? I thought he was.
He used to be.
But he used to be. I'm like, that's interesting. See, for me, it's nice, even though I don't know that character, I feel he still feels fleshed out, even though I'm only really seeing him here. I feel like they do a really good job at being like, even if you don't know this character very well, it still feels like you kind of have an idea of who he is.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
along with the other characters as well. Like the pink-haired girl, like the senpai has always felt pretty fleshed out, even though she's not really in the show a whole lot.
No,
Um,
no,
But it's because it's not their show, right? It's
no.
Hiyori's
It's
show.
it's not about them. Yeah,
It's about Hiyori and Lip Lip and kind of sort of Juri and Chizuru.
yeah.
Sort of.
Chizuru.
Sort
Yeah.
of. I wish we got an episode more with them because Chizuru this week is really funny.
Yeah, she is because of like clearly she's a huge fan
Yeah.
of Lip Lip, right?
Yeah.
Because she gets really flustered and all that stuff. But
Well,
she
Juri
might
didn't give a shit.
Yeah, and the jury was like, "Oh, hey guys, what's up?"
Hey, what up? Yeah.
I mean, Jury doesn't strike me as the type of person to be into
Idols.
like idols, and not because like
She's too cool.
she's too cool, but
Yeah.
like it's just like she is just
Not her
it
scene.
doesn't seem like her scene. Yeah.
Yeah, whereas like Chizuru was like you could see like she was like nah, like getting nervous. It was very Chizuru was really really funny this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked seeing her kind of get like flustered because they didn't like make it a big deal. You just like if you were looking at her in the scene, you could see her face going like nah, like trying to like look away.
Yeah,
It was
like
really
like
funny.
oh, don't get too close, don't get too close.
Yeah,
Oh my
don't
god, they're so close.
Exactly, I'm gonna pass out. Right? It was
Yeah.
very very cute. I want a Chizuru focused episode because every time she's on screen, she's really funny.
Well, I want Chizuru and Judy. I want both of them. Like, I want to
Yeah.
see both of them, like, a lot more.
Yeah, they're pretty
'Cause
great.
They're pretty great. I'd like to see them a little bit more involved, you know?
Yeah.
And like, the thing is that about this show, right? Because, like, it was nice seeing Judy and Chizuru interact with both Aizo and Yujiro this week. Because
Yeah.
usually, like, I don't think we've ever seen them really interact.
They're like they
Until-
were all. I think all four were like aware of each other, right? Like
Yes.
they knew that like they all hung out with Hiyori, but it never felt like they were like a group or anything.
Yeah. But this week we kind of like got to see them interact, and I was like, oh, that's really nice, right?
Yeah.
Because like now, like certain characters don't always have to interact with other characters, right? Like, you know, the senpais don't have to interact with, like Judy and Chizuru, right? Like they don't have because they're not their senpai. I mean, it is their senpai, but like they're part of the track team, right?
Yeah, it's
so
more
of course
Hiyori's senpai. Yeah.
it's more like Hiyori senpai. Yeah, exactly. Instead of like everyone's, right?
Yeah.
So it's okay for characters to not interact like at all, right? So it's nice to see when characters who probably should interact do interact, you know?
I agree with that. Yeah, it's refreshing, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like those characters should like talk, right? Because they're in the same class, right? So it's like, yeah, they would speak, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's cool. Yeah, they and you could really feel like that the class bonded this week as well. Like everybody was like,
Yes.
cheering on Aizo and Yujiro and Hiyori and stuff. It was nice to see that the class likes Hiyori. Right?
Yes.
Because like we see Hiyori basically like was trying her best to make the sports festival / field day fun. Like she was going out of her way to make sure that everything was working well. And Judy even said like we tried to offer to help, but she said no.
Yeah.
Right. And you see her like running around with like the I forget what you call them, the hurdles. You know,
Yep.
like she had them like on her shoulder, and she's like, "Isn't it fun?" And everyone's like, "Geez, Hiyori, slow down!" Right? Like the other students like actually seem to like Hiyori quite a bit, which I was worried because I know she does track. She works at the with the boys. Like it seemed like she didn't really have a lot of time to hang out with the other kids in her class, but it seems like everybody, pretty generally speaking, likes Hiyori.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good bonding exercise for all of them, and they won at the end.
Yeah,
right?
it was nice. Yeah, I was like kind of like I wasn't really sure who was gonna win. Right? I was like, is it gonna be Aizo or is it gonna be his brother? Like I wasn't super sure, but Aizo actually does manage to win. I was really pleasantly surprised.
I was also really pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
But the ending though song,
The ending song.
the end song, and like just the ending in general.
Very
I was
surprising.
surprised that we got our other characters, our senpais.
Yeah, it was it was the second ears. Yeah, I was like, what, really? Right? Like that because when it started, I'm like, oh, this is the this is like that one song, because we've definitely heard the song before.
Yeah.
I just couldn't pinpoint like where we heard it. So
Julieta.
I knew it was a Lip Lip song. I was just like, but I didn't know like where it was from. Like at what point in the series. Yeah.
It was cute seeing like these kind of couples that are like off to the side, like interact and stuff.
Yeah, the side couples. Yeah.
Except I need more Judy and Ko. I want to see what their relationship's like so badly.
I do too.
Like,
yeah, because I was like, well, I was very happy that they showed him, right? Because I was like, yay.
Yeah.
But like,
well, we were also under the impression that he was older than her.
Yeah, I thought he was like significantly older than her.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
so I was like, I was like, oh, cool, right? Like, because I thought he was like
maybe
like,
a first year in college or something like that.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, so I was like,
well,
so that's actually a big relief. So I was like,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, the thing is like a lot of gal characters
date
like
older.
date older, like college dudes, and that's pretty. I wouldn't say it's like it's a common trope.
Yeah.
Is what that is, right? Because there's a lot of like when you watch any anime that involves gals that have boyfriends, they're usually in college, for whatever reason. Why they should be why they're dating someone in college, I don't know. I really don't know. It's but that's just the trope. So seeing that her boyfriend is in school with her is great. And he might be older, actually, but
I believe he's like a third year.
Yeah, which is fine. They go to school together.
Yeah.
Right? But it was cute because it was a little weird the way they, like, introduced him very first, like, with Hiyori.
Yeah,
because I'm like, man.
Yeah.
I was like, man, he doesn't seem like just some throwaway side character to me.
He seems like,
right?
He seemed like he was going to be important. So I was like,
he was important somehow.
The school newspaper? Like, what?
I was like, well, because, like, the girl, the fourth girl, who ran with them, their fourth person.
Yeah, she was very much a throwaway character.
Like, she's throwaway, you can tell. But, like, he was like, I was like, there's something a little different about him. Yeah. He had a design going instead of just, like, basic hair. And I, and then, like, the way that, they were sitting and he had, like, camera out and she, Judy was cheerleading and, like,
I knew, I knew right there. I was like, oh, okay. That's
I was like, well, I was like, oh, does he like her? And then, because I was still under the impression that her boyfriend was in college.
Well, because like, I was like, he doesn't have to know that she has a boyfriend. It could just be a cute thing, right?
Yeah.
But the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, that's like straight up her boyfriend, right? Like, I was like, that's him, right? Because he wore glasses, right? So I was like, no, that's. Well,
he wore glasses, and he like doesn't look like he'd be her type.
Exactly, yeah. So
exactly.
Like,
she's like, he's not really my type. And like when you say something like that, when you're like someone who's like Judy, yeah, this like kind of nerdy boy might not be your type.
This Hirotaka looking ass.
Hirotaka looking ass.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, this is so cute. I was like, where's their story? I wanna watch a whole anime about
Yeah, where's
them.
their movie? Yeah. Like, yeah. I would totally watch a spin-off with those two. It'd be great. You can have Lip. You can have them go to like Lip concerts. It'd be fun. Or like Four Town.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the other.
Four Town.
Four Town.
It's like
there's 5 of them.
Full throttle.
Full throttle. Yeah.
Yeah. Full throttle 4.
FT4, right?
Yeah, FT4.
Yeah, FT4. Yeah.
Full throttle 4. There
Why
we go.
is it called Four Throttle 4?
If there's 5 of them.
If there's 5 of them. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Anyway, is that it?
I think that's it, yeah.
Alright. Outro. And that's going to do it for today's video, everybody. So we hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot. Share the video around. And of course, I have to give a big thank you to our lovely patrons. Look at these beautiful people. All these people who help keep this channel afloat. I sincerely appreciate it. And of course, I have to give a big thank you to Asaki VT, Elizabeth Just Elizabeth, Jeremy P, Matt87 Eagle, Shadow Creative, Shiorans, Stephen G, Stevie W, Trapmaster, Trevor W, and Tristan G. Thank you all once again so much for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon or here on YouTube just by watching the videos. I sincerely appreciate it. Be good, and we will see you next time.